I'm a female from a small residential town in Canada, British Columbia. Being 21 at the time, my story took place between 2016 and 2017. I'm not too sure which month, but I know it was in the fall after around 2 weeks of working in the community school. Okay, for the first few paranormal experiences that happened to me was in the broad office. That's like a minute walk from the back of the school. I knew I was in the broad office alone because I would always check to see if there was someone staying late. And so, after I checked around to make sure not to scare anyone, I went downstairs where there was a meeting room that was used for storage and open space for shelves to store files and whatnot, and plus the washroom in the back corner. So, I usually clean the washroom first before I get up to cleaning the offices upstairs. After cleaning the washroom, I grabbed the garbage, and as I was leaving the washroom, I heard an unrecognizable lady's voice say, "You fucking bitch," to the right side of me. I had my wired earphones hanging off my ear just to hear my music. I looked over my shoulder to see no one standing in the dark corner. I swear my heart almost stopped. When I saw no one there, I then booked it back up the stairs and calmed myself down. I went back to cleaning, but as I was walking around, I looked out the window to see if there might have been someone outside, but no one was around. Another time I went up to clean the broad office. It was sometime in October, so it was getting dark earlier. I cleaned out the offices before I went down to the washroom downstairs. After I cleaned the washroom, I began sweeping the floors down there. As I was sweeping, I heard footsteps outside near the stairs. I would always lock the door when I was in the broad office. Then, there was the distinct sound of the door unlocking. I heard the door open and then close, so I sorta yelled to let whoever came inside know that I was there cleaning and apologize if I scared them. But there was no response back nor any sounds of footsteps. I'm thinking, okay, maybe they didn't hear me, so I repeated myself, and then I walked towards the office door saying, "Hello?" Nothing. I then went to the front door to see if anyone was there. While it looked like I was alone, I did notice that the door was unlocked when I knew I locked it myself. I then stammered, "To hell with this," while grabbing all the garbage in the hallway where I left them. I looked up towards the back offices, and suddenly one of the doors slammed shut. I ran out, locked the door behind me, and went back to the school, shaking. It was so bad that I had a panic attack. Eventually, I called someone to go and check the broad office. Finding it empty went a long way to helping me calm down. This next part happened in the actual school. For reference, this is an idea of the layout. So I worked at the left wing of the community school, and there was a teacher's office next to a few classrooms, a storage room, and there was also a door that led downstairs to a furnace room with even more storage rooms. Meaning, there were stairs that would go down and then turn to the left, leading to 3 doors. I would take my dinner break in the teacher's office. I was sitting down at a table next to the door in the office. I was having my dinner and watching something on YouTube when suddenly I heard a few soft knocks on the door in the hallway. I paused the video and looked out the doorway to see if someone needed me for something, but no one was there. For about a minute, I sat there listening to see if it happened again. Then, as I went to resume the video, I heard scratching on the door right across the hallway from the room I was in. I got up to walk over to outside the furnace room door while holding on to my phone in case I needed to call my manager. As I got close, I announced, "Hello, you shouldn't be in there." I then grabbed the doorknob and turned it, but it was locked. It sounded like someone or something was moving around on the other side. So I started calling my manager, and as he picked up, there was a loud bang on the door. I jumped back as I kinda yelled into the phone telling him what I thought was going on. After confirming that my manager heard the bang, I heard more movement right behind the door. I tried to open the door again, yelling, "You can't be in there. If you leave now, I won't call the cops." I tried the door again and it opened this time, and nothing. The lights were off the whole time, and when I flicked them on, I looked over the room only to see a shadow person's head leaning over the corner, and it quickly pulled its head back to hide. It was so weird because the lights were so bright that I should have been able to see the face clearly, but instead just made out a black shape. I closed the door and waited a few minutes for my manager to show up. I was shaking the whole time thinking back on what just happened. The manager arrived and went down to check things out. After a couple of minutes, he came back to tell me that there was no one down there. With everything locked up, the manager said there wasn't any indication of trespassing. Another time, while on dinner break, I was accompanied by one of my male friends who was covering for one of the other janitors. We were in the same office having our dinner, each watching our own videos on our phones. And yes, I already told him what happened to me before. While sitting there eating, I heard a long scratch on a door nearby. I couldn't tell where it came from, but I had a hunch on where to investigate. I looked at him and asked, "Did you hear that?" He nodded, looking shocked. After pausing my video, I opened a ghost detector app called Spritebox that I had on my phone and started it. After a few seconds, a few random words popped up. I don't remember all the words, but what stuck with me to this day were words like angry, stairs, and fire. We stared at each other while freaking out a little bit when we both looked towards the door. As I stood up, the door opened slightly. I told him to have the manager's number dialed on his phone just in case. I then ran over to pull the door open, but I saw and heard nothing. The lights were left on this time. My friend slowly walked over as I stepped through the door to look, only to find no one there this time. However, I heard footsteps running into one of the rooms down below, so I started to go downstairs yelling, "Hey, you need to get out of here." I told my friend to call the manager. As I got to the corner, I saw one of the doors slowly closing. Before I can open it up again, it was fully closed and locked. I yelled while knocking on the door, "Hey, who is in there? You need to leave." I heard no movement for a bit while I tried to open the door, but then I heard a loud bang behind me from another door. I thought to myself, "To hell with this," and started running back up the stairs telling my friend to watch my back in case someone tried to come after me. As I got closer to him, he told me he saw the same thing I did before. A shadowy figure, only that its arms was reaching out towards me. I just stepped onto the top stairs when the lights went off. But thankfully, my friend moved back into the hallway as I ran out and closed the door and held it as our manager rushed towards us. We told him what happened, and then he checked things out. Nothing was wrong, but this time, there were small, soft scratches on the furnace room door.